Hello and welcome to day 2 of our Cologne Capture series. I'm delighted to be joined by Will from Contentsquare. Will, how are you?
Thank you so much. I'm fine. Thanks for having me.
Likewise. And how has day 1 been for you at Mexico?
Well, you know how it is. I'm based out of Helsinki, Finland, and this gives me social anxiety. I haven't seen so many people for the last 2 years. And no, but jokes aside, it's beautiful. It's a nice event. It's like a little bit like a family reunion, and a lot of old friends, a lot of new friends, a lot of new technology. Really nice.
Awesome. And do you feel that a lot of business is done into Mexico?
Certainly, there's a lot of connections happening. Absolutely, and it's also time to meet face to face on a rapid scale, which is good. Usually, we're just communicating through Zoom or any kind of web channels, and here's the time to meet, which is really nice.
Yeah, it's nice to actually have that personal touch with someone. I think
Absolutely.
especially since COVID, everything is online.
Yeah.
You know, with meetings before, you might fly and meet a client, or you know, a lot of businesses now are fully remote rather than being on site, which definitely has its positives, but it's also great to be able to connect and meet with team members as well as potential new clients as well.
True.
And for anyone who isn't familiar with Contentsquare, great if you could just maybe give a bit of an introduction about the business.
Absolutely, thanks, with pleasure. So what Contentsquare is basically doing, we are a digital experience platform, and we are connecting the dots between a digital experience that you might have on your mobile phone, on an app, on web when you're browsing, and the actual outcome. And what an outcome might be for you personally, you might feel in love, you might feel frustrated, rage, something doesn't work. And from the business perspective, of course, that leads to either higher or lower net promoter scores, higher or lower conversion rate on the site, bigger or smaller basket sizes. So that's what we are trying to improve upon.
Okay, amazing. I guess, do you feel there's maybe any issues currently in the sector that you feel Contentsquare are addressing?
Absolutely. I think there's something that struck me yesterday. I'm not sure if you have been able to see, there was a gentleman, digital performance VP from Obi. And Obi is here in Germany, is like Screw and Fix probably in the UK, and Kingfisher. And what he was saying is he had 3 buckets of customers. The customers that are buying online, customers that are buying in the shop, and customers that are buying both online and in the shop. And he said that the value of what a customer is buying for a year, usually on average on the online channel, is around about €250. Only in the brick and mortar store, around €470 for a year. But online and brick and mortar combined, €1,000 on a yearly basis. And that struck me. And why did it struck me is because now we are really entering this age of multi-channel buying decisions. I mean, you look sporty, you're probably buying bicycles, for example, or doing something sporty. And if you buy a bicycle, it's not something that you usually do in one journey. You go there and you buy it, but you do some research. You start on your mobile app, then you go to the desktop, then you go to the shop, then you go back again to your desktop, and you buy something. You become part of a customer fan club or something equivalent. And that's something I recognized also in MarTech. That's the trend. You need to be able to see customer behavior across devices and also across the timeline of months, potentially even years. I think that's a huge trend.
Okay, awesome. And I guess looking further ahead to 2025, what do you think are going to be the predictions of the latest innovation within the market?
Well, I think as we can see here also in Mexico, it is if you don't have AI tattooed on your forehead, you're not part of the family. That is the case. But not here to say that what will become true or what is not going to happen. But at the end of the day, I at least see that AI is going to help us even more next year to cut through the noise. And what I mean by that is, we in my business, it's never about too little data. I've never received the question, well, can you give me another truckload of data to analyze customer behavior? That's not the case. We have enough. The question is, how can we cut through the noise, get information that we need fast, and then also at the end of the day start to interact with the system. So where did I lose conversion? Why did I lose conversion? And when the system is interacting and asking, okay, since you asked about conversion rate yesterday, would you also like to see conversion drops for today more? So I think that's going to be accelerating for sure.
Okay, very exciting. And my last question, for anyone that's thinking about coming to Mexico next year, what advice would you give to them?
What advice? Try not to use the Deutsche Bundesbahn in the morning when you're in a rush. That might bring you into trouble.
Okay, awesome stuff. Well, it's great to have you on the podcast,
Thanks, James.
Will, and really good to meet you. And best of luck for day 2 and the rest of the year.
Thank you so much.
Cheers.
Thanks,
Thank you.
buddy.
Bye.